And it doesn't affect them whether or not it bothers you or not, because they genuinely already don't care. Hey guys, I am Brittykelleyy. I typically do stay-at-home mom content, family, traveling kind of videos. I'm still getting the hang of everything. I'm still new here. Used to have a blog, and on this blog I spent a lot of time talking about a lot of ways we handle things in life and how we should look at things in life and just feelings that we feel and how to actually process them. And though everyone processes and handles things differently, I used my blog as a platform to kind of share how I, as a young adult, felt at that time. Now I'm 30, but at the time of the blog, I was in my younger 20s. However, there was just so much layers to me internally. I was struggling. My husband had the bright idea, like, you love to write, why don't you create a blog? He helped me create a website, had that thing up and running. I promise you, it was the best thing I ever did. To this day, I still talk about that blog, and I knew that I needed to get back up and actually find another creative way, allowing myself to talk about the things that I'm going through that can connect with a lot of other women, a lot of young adults, things that I have gone through, how I got through them, my thought process on all kind of layers to life. I used my blog to talk about it, and I connected with so many people with that blog. And I know you're probably wondering, well, what happened to it? Well, long story short, I had a baby and it got very difficult to keep up with everything. I decided to put a hard stop on the blog, but I'm not done, and I am coming back, and I'm thinking of so many ways to get more creative about it, build upon it. Hopefully I can connect with so many other women that are just like me, create my own community of women that can share, even give their own perspective of how they look at life or how they look at things. So anywho, I really want to talk about something that has been weighing heavy on me. I sat and really thought about this, and I put a lot of notes down in regards to this, but something that I struggle with, okay? I am such an empath, and I truly struggle with caring too much. Okay, I truly struggle with this. And I know there's a ton of books about how to not care about things, right? But I care too much. And it can drain you. If you're anything like that, it can drain you. It can take a lot out of you. And before you know it, you start to actually feel the emotion of when others don't care enough. And it doesn't affect them whether or not it bothers you or not, because they genuinely already don't care, right? Okay, so how can we get on the other side of, I don't want to not care because that is what makes you you, but I also don't want to be bothered. If you're a people pleaser like myself, you struggle with other people not being a people pleaser, and you struggle with understanding why certain people don't react or respond to life or situations or things the way you do. Caring too much about if that other person is caring enough or not doing enough or not doing what you would have expected them to do, then you also play a part in this too, because your expectations on people is not their responsibility. It truly isn't. It truly isn't. So what I want to talk about in this video today is how you can kind of reframe your mind from essentially caring too much. I tend to struggle with this when it comes to people that I love. I don't really care a lot when it's like people I don't really care about that much, or like, I don't really have that issue if it's not someone that I'm close with. But if it's someone that I'm like related to, if it's like someone I would say like is in my like close group, I definitely struggle with this. There's 5 tips that can help you care less destructively without shutting off your feelings entirely. Okay, number 1, you're going to need to pause. You need to pause before you react emotionally. Okay, I struggle with this crazy. But basically emotional feelings, which in my opinion is very similar to defense, right? Those feelings can come really, really fast, especially when in someone that you care about, something to you that you may feel like is hurtful. So like that emotional like overload can hit quick. So you're gonna really want to pause with that emotion. You're gonna take a second. You're gonna breathe through that emotion. Pause for a second, right? I'm gonna slap you in the face, right? You're gonna pause. You're gonna pause for a second. Pause for a cause. You're done taking a deep breath. I want you to count to 10, right? You're gonna count to 10 in your head, and you're gonna really sit there and you're going to think, is this about me or is this about them? Most times, other people's reaction to things says more about them than it does about you. So the fact that I came up to you and I slapped you, that shows more about me than it really has anything to do with you. My second tip is I want you to redefine what approval means, or approval over your own actions, because you really can't control other people. And the more time we spend focusing on how we can control other people, the more time we actually are wasting, to be honest. When you realize like you really can only control yourself, then you focus more on what you can actually do. So instead of focusing on if you like how someone else is showing up for you, or if you like how someone else responded to something or whatever, right? Focus on how you can flip that switch and actually focus on yourself. Did you like how you responded? Did you like how you showed up for people? Did you like how you focus on you? Because you can care. Like, don't stop being who you are. Don't stop caring. But you're not going to shape your actions based off of how their actions are. What you're going to do is you're going to shape your actions off of your own approval of how you want to be, over how you are. You're gonna focus on yourself and you're doing, and obviously others you're not receiving in any way, shape, or form. Yes, you in that moment can decide how you want to respond for how others show up for you. Do not respond by feeling like they're obligated to do that. No, you can now choose to respond how you want to show up based off of how they chose to show up, if you want to do that. But you're not going to be making that decision off of what they're doing. But you're going to dial back based off of what you feel like you should do for you, for yourself. And yes, there is a bit of like, okay, yes, it's a bit of like you're doing it because you feel like maybe it's not really a give and take relationship, but you're not going to respond to it off of they should have and they should be doing this and they should have. No, you're going to respond to it off of, well, you know what, like, I'm going to dial it back for me. I may not like how this relationship is making me feel, so I'm going to dial it back for myself. Not because I have expectation over how I think they should be making me feel. No, you're not going to do that. You're going to dial it back for you. Number 3, you're going to practice detached compassion. Okay, what does that mean? You can literally know someone doesn't like you, right? Okay, like you know it, you've heard it, people have told you, this person's been talking about you, this person has a lot to say about you when you're not around, right? Okay. Does that mean I can't be in the same room with them, or I can't be with them, or I can't be near them, or whatever, right? Nope, it doesn't mean that. It literally means you know how you're gonna practice this, because it's really hard. It's still hard for myself. Practicing how you can be in the same space. You can even communicate with the same people you don't really mess with, or they don't really mess with you, or whatever, they don't like you, but you can still be you. That is a very empowering thing. That is a very empowering and self-aware thing to practice. So if you can go into a space and really truly continue to be you, continue to be full of life, continue to be compassionate, continue to be caring, knowing They don't like you. They don't like you. They talk about you. You can continue to still be yourself. That shows more about you than it shows about them. It shows a lot more about you. That's basically like standing next to a fire without jumping in. Like you see yourself spiraling and going on about a situation. You're gonna say to yourself, okay, this is me controlling how someone sees me again. This is me trying to control a situation that I have no power over. This is me trying to control something that I can't, right? You're giving it a name, you're labeling it. When you do that, you can detach from it. What I mean by detach from it, if I can sit here and identify like, okay, I'm doing something I'm not supposed to be doing. I'm doing something that I am not supposed to be doing. This is me doing that bad behavior that I'm not supposed to be doing. I'm labeling it. Like I'm giving the behavior a label. This is me doing something I'm not supposed to be doing. That makes it so much easier for you to detach from that behavior and dial back. It makes it so much easier for you to be like, never mind. That's what I'm working on. I'm gonna push back from that. I'm not gonna respond to that. I'm not going to respond to that the way I would have typically responded to that. That's you, literally you putting a stop to it. And honestly, I'm gonna be honest, that is when I would need to call upon my God, because some people, they call it test your spirit, right? Some people can test your spirit. That could be when you call on God. That can be when you dial it back. When you label it, when you put a title on it. This is me doing something that I know I don't want to be doing. I promise you, it makes it so much easier for you to step out of it. It's detaching yourself away from ego and sitting back. It's hard, but it's a good way. It's a good practice to have. Okay, and number 5, you're gonna strengthen your sense of self. That's basically meaning you're going to be more rooted in who you are. The more rooted you are, the less people have power over you. Less other people's opinions have power over you. And what people say or think of you behind your back, to your face, wherever, matter. It won't matter. It genuinely won't matter. So like a healthy practice is to journal, pray, like affirmations, those kind of things. Those are really, really going to be the things that root you into being so firm on standing on your boundaries and working on the things that you truly want to work on to become the version of yourself that you want to become. Something that I want you guys to take away from this, that I can care about other people without making their opinions be my mirror. So whatever people think of you, whatever people are saying about you, you can care about it, but it doesn't have to become your mirror. Like that doesn't have to become and define who you are, because you know who you are. So stay rooted in that. And I promise you, it will show more about who you really are than what they think you are. Make sure you guys subscribe, make sure you guys like, make sure you comment and let me know what you guys think. If you have any questions or if there's anything you want to correct me on, if there's any tips, all the things. But give me a follow, give me a like, give me a subscribe, and watch my other videos, get to know me and Callie and my husband a little bit more, and stay tuned because I have a lot more coming. Bye.